Every town has a Halloween legend. In the quiet suburbs of Brookhaven, that legend had a name: Ethan Rowe, better known as the Candy Bag Killer. His crimes weren't just horrifying, they were personal. He used Halloween night, the one night people willingly opened their doors to strangers, to hunt. It began in 1983, when the neighborhood was full of children in plastic masks and glow sticks. Parents followed from a safe distance, chatting and laughing as their kids ran from door to door. But on Sycamore Street, a little girl named Chloe Abbott, age 7, never came home. The only thing left behind was her half-full pumpkin candy bucket, found in a neighbor's bushes. At first, police thought she'd been abducted by someone passing through town. Then, a week later, another child disappeared, a boy named Tommy Lewis. Same area. Same night. Same bucket found near the bushes. Witnesses said they'd seen a man in a faded scarecrow costume walking alone, his mask made of burlap stitched into a crooked grin. No one thought much of it. It was Halloween, after all. By the fourth disappearance, Brookhaven was on edge. Parents started checking every piece of candy their children brought home. Trick-or-treating hours were reduced. The town council even banned full-face masks. But that didn't stop Ethan Rowe. He was a 42-year-old mailman who lived alone, quiet and polite, the kind of man everyone trusted. He even helped with the Halloween parade every year. Nobody knew that in his basement were shelves lined with pumpkin buckets, each labeled with a child's name. When police finally caught him in 1986, it was because a trick-or-treater's mother noticed something strange. Her daughter's candy bag contained a small, folded photo, a Polaroid of another child she didn't recognize. She reported it, and the photo led detectives straight to Rowe's house. Inside, they found photos of all 5 missing children. He'd lured them in by pretending to have special candy he was saving for polite kids, then drugged and killed them, keeping their candy bags as trophies. Rowe confessed to everything in chilling calmness, saying, "They trusted the costume. Everyone does on Halloween." He was sentenced to life in prison, where he was beaten to death by another inmate in 1989. Even today, people in Brookhaven claim that if you leave a pumpkin bucket on your porch overnight on Halloween, it will be gone by morning, and sometimes, a Polaroid will be left in its place. In 1999, the residents of Everett, Ohio, were used to elaborate Halloween decorations, fake corpses, haunted garages, even animatronic monsters. But that year, one house went too far. It belonged to Richard "Rick" Heller, a quiet man in his 40s who lived alone after his wife left him. Neighbors described him as strange, but harmless, a guy who never mowed his lawn and talked to himself. But every Halloween, his house became the scariest on the block. He spent weeks setting up fake bodies, bloody props, and life-sized mannequins dressed as trick-or-treaters. On Halloween night, families would gather outside his yard, taking pictures beside the dummies. Kids dared each other to touch the corpses. Heller would sit on his porch, dressed in a rubber clown mask, pretending to be another decoration, motionless for hours. But after that Halloween, something felt off. One of the mannequins didn't move for days. Then a smell began drifting through the neighborhood, a thick, sickly odor that turned stomachs. Police were called to investigate. What they found inside Heller's house still haunts the town. Every mannequin was real. Inside his basement were the bodies of 3 local teenagers, Jamie, Nate, and Olivia, who had gone missing 2 days before Halloween. He had killed them, dressed them in costumes, and posed them outside as part of his display. In the living room, detectives found his old VHS camera still recording, showing him laughing while arranging their limbs just right. The most disturbing detail was how no one noticed. Hundreds of people had walked past his yard that night, taking selfies with real corpses under the porch light. When police entered his basement, they found a wall covered with hundreds of Polaroids, photos of trick-or-treaters over the years, each marked with a number and a note like too tall, too small, or perfect fit. He had been choosing his victims for over a decade, but never acted, until his wife left him. When arrested, Heller reportedly said, "They looked so happy pretending to be dead. I just made it real." He was sentenced to death in 2001, executed by lethal injection 10 years later. But even now, every October, residents claim to see a man in a clown mask sitting motionless on the same porch where Heller used to wait, just another decoration, until it moves. In 2012, just outside Reno, Nevada, travelers along Route 95 often stopped at a rundown roadside motel called the Copper Lantern Inn. It was cheap, clean enough, and the owner, Marvin Keene, was friendly to every guest. But no one knew that behind the office wall was a hidden door leading to a soundproof basement where Marvin filmed what he called his Halloween specials. It started when truckers began disappearing around Halloween each year. Police assumed it was coincidence, men on the road, bad weather, maybe robberies. But when a couple, the Garcias, vanished in 2013, suspicion grew. They had been last seen checking into the Copper Lantern Inn, according to security footage. But in the footage Marvin gave to police, their check-in moment had been mysteriously cut off. Everything broke open when a young woman named Erica Bloom escaped. She was a hitchhiker who had accepted Marvin's offer of a free night's stay. At first, he seemed kind. He even gave her leftover candy from his front desk bowl. But that night, she woke up chained to a metal table in the basement. Cameras pointed at her from every corner. On the walls hung Halloween masks, hundreds of them, some cracked and covered in dried blood. Marvin appeared wearing a plastic pumpkin mask and holding a knife. "Smile for the Halloween movie," he whispered. Erica managed to break free after hours of struggling, stabbing him in the arm with a broken glass shard, and escaping through a side window. She ran barefoot for half a mile before collapsing at a gas station. When police arrived at the motel, they found what she had seen. Inside the basement were 13 videotapes, each labeled by year, 2000 through 2012. Each tape contained footage of a victim being tortured and killed on Halloween night.